Hey, this is John with Real Hardware Reviews. Again, day 2 of CES, and now we are with Asus, and we are with the man JJ, and he's going to walk us through all of the brand new Asus products that we have to see at CES today.
How you doing? Thanks for having me. We've got something I think pretty exciting. This is our brand new StudioBook. So for those of you kind of familiar with Asus and kind of, let's say, a more lifestyle-oriented product, we've had VivoBook, which has been entry, really nice quality, but more aggressive price point. We've had Zen, which has really kind of been the stalwart for thin and light, but still high quality and high performance. But StudioBook has really been purpose-built for content creation professionals. So videography, AutoCAD, science and simulation, more professional workflows. And so that's going to first and foremost come that you'll see in this beautiful screen. It's Pantone validated. You can see 97% DCI-3, and on top of that, you got a 16:10 aspect ratio, so you get that nice increase in that vertical workspace. That also really allows you to kind of have like a 17 class experience in terms of 17 inches, but in kind of like a 15.6 inch body. Beyond that, in terms of the processing, this will go up to a Core i7, very, very good thermal performance, but we're also going to be offering Xeon support with full ECC support. ECC really critical because when you have more professional systems, sometimes these systems don't get turned off, they don't get rebooted, they might be running for extended periods of time, weeks, sometimes even months, because they're kind of built in or they need that level of reliability.
So is the memory and storage soldered on these systems? Or
no, there is flexibility in terms of
beautiful.
that, so you can upgrade. This also does, speaking of storage, have dual M.2 PCIe,
awesome.
So ultra high speed storage performance. It will have Thunderbolt 3. Also, in terms of additional storage, a lot of professionals out there that are doing videography, high resolution photography, you want a high performance card reader. So you've got UHS class to 300 megabytes. That's very rare to see in laptops, so it's really awesome to see within this type of unit. Beyond that, we also have a really nice size keyboard, good audio based design. We've got a capacitive-based touchpad, so you still have numpad support, but without necessarily encroaching on the traditional keyboard area, which you really still want to have that comfortable, nice feel with. Beyond that, you still got biometrics as well, and also in terms of networking connectivity, this will be the world's first, along with our ROG series mothership, to have 811AX. So pretty much across the board, whether it's performance, thermals, the screen, the overall flexibility of the unit in terms of being able to lay it flat, right, and be able to share your content easily with another professional. We're really excited about this unit for content creators.
Awesome. So what else does Asus have to show us today?
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of little interesting things. One over here, kind of keeping the theme with professional content creators. This is the world's first mini LED based monitor, and so this is an absolute game changer. If we kind of go in the hierarchy, you have traditional LED, then you go to mini LED, and then you can even go into micro LED. And really the goal here is about peak brightness and also elimination of haloing. And so this is over 1,000 zones in terms of what you have in terms of lighting range, 1,200 nits in terms of peak brightness, outstanding color quality.
Yeah, it looks
and
like nothing I've
gaming.
ever seen. It looks absolutely stunning. When's the release date for this?
It's not finalized, probably going to be somewhere maybe in around the Q2 time frame. We are still fine-tuning aspects of the panel's performance. Right now we have certification for standard HDR and HLG, but we can support local dimming, so we are looking to see about maybe Dolby Vision support and being able to take this kind of even further. In terms of the connectivity, you got multiple HDMI in, HDMI out, Thunderbolt, USB PD support. I mean, this is really going to be the end-all be-all when you're talking about professional content creators. You know, you're grading 4K, 5K, 8K, you want that big, beefy, dynamic range and just outstanding color quality, and you really want to eliminate a lot of the haloing effects that you might see on a more traditional LED-based panel. This is really a panel that we're excited about, and keep in mind what you're seeing right here, it's hard to translate through video.
Oh it looks absolutely amazing.
And to top this off, this is what we call our stable firmware. This is not even our performance firmware to show you the peak performance of what this panel can show you. So really exciting stuff that we're going to be offering on our ProArt series of monitors.
That's absolutely amazing. Designers are just absolutely going to love this.
Yeah, it's a beautiful display.
Yeah.
Go over here. This is pretty sweet. So this is the world's first AX mesh-based networking system.
Okay.
So this is going to allow for a whole nother kind of like a wireless connectivity experience. Again, pairs up perfectly with something like the StudioBook because of its 811AX support. And really the big thing here is going to be the bandwidth increase. You're going to get outstanding coverage, a nice kind of compact, simplified design, you know, foldable antennas, kind of clean ID right here. And this will also still continue to feature a lot of hallmarks from Asus, like our quality of service. So if you want to be able to optimize which devices get the most bandwidth, you want to be able to go ahead and maybe run specialized VPN for anonymity to protect all your devices, we'll have features and support like that. And for upcoming clients in the future, you'll have things like even target wait time, which can actually improve battery life for different types of mobile devices. But if you're really kind of looking for the highest, best quality performing mesh experience, you definitely going to want to be checking out this guy in terms of our AX solution, so the AX 6100.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. The CEO's got a tower over here.
Yep. So this kind of rounding out part of our kind of professional focus. This is our brand new kind of fully consolidated high performance PA series, kind of all in one. Of course, you still bring along your monitor for the ride, but really premium construction. If you feel this is all aluminum. It's got integrated LED lighting, which can correspond to actually load. This will actually dynamically raise itself to actually exhaust. So if there's a heavier load, you get even better airflow. We can have a full discrete graphics card in there. This one can support optionally Quadro, high performance GPU, dual M.2, Thunderbolt 3. Really, this is kind of geared towards giving content creators and professionals a really high level of performance, but in a compact, quiet form factor, but still has flexibility over time if they're looking to upgrade certain elements to be able to kind of maintain with their performance level.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like nothing else.
Yeah, it's a very
Looks
distinctive,
like a massive of the old Mac Pros.
distinctive design, but definitely modern performance
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Head on over to the ROG.
one is just beautiful. I want you to just kind of feel that. It's a really nice design. It's kind of almost got kind of like a stainless steel aesthetic.
UX31.
Yeah, so we've got
that one.
Yeah, so we've got our 13-inch and 14-inch variant right here. Wow. These will come with latest Core i7 8th Gen MX150. And we've done a lot of work. You can see just that beautiful screen to body ratio, 97% in terms of that. You know, nice and large touchpad design, biometrics. This mill design really helps to allow for the improved rigidity to really be able to give you a comfortable typing experience. Of course, you can see that we've got our ergo lift design, which is really nice because it helps to put in a more natural writing position while also helping with thermal performance. One nice thing too, especially within this more thin and light category that you don't traditionally see, is you got your two Type-C right there, but you actually are still getting a full-size Type-A, and so it's a bit of a rarity that you're kind of now not necessarily always seeing. So it's it's
Don't need to
connectivity
carry
friendly.
as many dongles around, so that's really cool.
Exactly. So it's really beautiful. You got a nice high quality display, and you can even see that we've kind of got this almost inverse notch right here, which still allows you to have this beautiful bezel design, but you can still have your HD webcam that's built on board. So really nice unit, extensive battery life. Good quality venting, good speaker design as well. And our 14-inch variant, if we can get a little shot of it on there, actually takes things further, where we're actually able to incorporate having, instead of the micro SD, you'll get a full size SD card slot, and you'll also get stereo speakers on the left and the right. Yeah, so you can just show right there.
Sneak in over there.
But you can see right there that we've got, of course, the speakers left and right, so you get that nice kind of clear
full
volume
HDMI
level.
port.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Full HDMI, and you also are going to get the full SD card. So I'm a really big fan of this. Light, you can throw it in your bag. You still got that, like I said, discrete MX150 graphics. And we've also done something cool in terms of working with Harman Kardon for the smart amplification, where the actual frequencies are distributed. So mids and highs are done through here, and then our low frequencies are through the two speakers that are placed on the bottom. So that really allows us to minimize on distortion, so you can get a really nice, comfortable experience.
And there's even discrete graphics with this one as well.
Yep, that's very rare. In most of these ultralight units, you're usually just getting Intel HD or UHD based graphics. So here we'll give you MX150.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This is a really impressive unit. This is the Strix Scar II, world's first 240 hertz gaming laptop. So I think that's all you need to say. It's an RTX 2070, latest 8th gen processor, and a 240 hertz screen. If you want absolutely awesome FPS gaming experience on a mobile laptop, this is going to be the laptop for you.
We also have a full review of the Strix Scar II on the way. One has been shipped to us already. We just finished the Scar 1 a few months back, so there was already one on the way for after
definitely
CES.
you'll be able to see all the awesome improvements that we've made in terms of the lighting, the technology, the cooling, and we're just going to take it to the next level with this 240 hertz.
Apparently they said they fixed every complaint we have with the Scar 1, so I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, it's a really awesome unit. Okay. Right here.
y salen para el mercado.
So this is the Mothership. It is a very, very kind of special system right here. And really the big difference is that what we've gone ahead and done is really look to be able to kind of design and develop something where you can kind of see it right there. Where you're working with a vertical narrative. In most situations, the reality, when you looked at something like a G703, it was an amazing desktop replacement, but it wasn't a laptop. Nobody ever uses it on their lap. So the design convention was really about trying to say, if you break apart the convention of having to design a laptop that you don't use on your laptop, what can you achieve in terms of the performance? And that's really what we've gone ahead and done with the Mothership. And so the big thing that we gain here is, of course, going to be a lot of agility and significantly improved thermal performance. So this, while being significantly thinner than a G703, will actually have better thermal performance and higher clock speed performance, while still maintaining the overclocking capability of a G703 and allowing you to have a lot more agility when you work with it.
Running into throttling problems or anything like that.
I mean, well, G703 never throttled anyways, but
fair enough.
But it really just allows you to have, I think, a more streamlined, consistent experience. So one, you know, you can really adjust the display where you want it, right? You can pull it in, you can push it back. We've got the kickstand, which allows for multiple degrees of kind of axis viewing. This keyboard, if you go ahead and just type on a little bit, you're going to feel how smooth and clean that keyboard feels. Why? Because it's milled out of an entire block of aluminum. Unlike many other keyboards where you have kind of flexing and membrane, really people don't feel comfortable with it, you got smooth, clean travel. This just feels nice. And again, you know, you can position it where you want, put your mouse where you want. If you don't want to use this, take it out and use your own keyboard, right? You got a lot of flexibility, and you can go either wireless, you can go hardline for low latency with a USB-C connection, or of course you can use it in a nice angled fashion with the pogo pins, right? So pretty much any which way you want. Beyond that, 144 hertz display, 3 millisecond response time. That's important because we are still the only vendor across all gaming laptops. It doesn't matter what vendor you look at, nobody has 144 and 3 milliseconds. Everybody is at a higher response time. While they might have high refresh rate, they don't have that. And definitely that 3 milliseconds really helps to just give you a little bit more crispiness. Yeah, and really just give you a smoother gameplay experience. Pantone validated display, so you still get great color quality. The other big benefit of going this route is that we get full directional audio. So there's 4 independent speakers, each 4 watts. So that's actually quite punchy, quite loud, really nice for, you know, Netflix, YouTube, even for gaming where I don't want to just, you know, I want to relax. I don't want my headphones on. I just want to give myself a little bit of breathing room. In terms of the overall rich connectivity, the board is absolutely stacked. It's got Thunderbolt. The network is 2.5G, which of course pairs with the fact that we make a 2.5G enabled router, right? It also has 802.11ax. Why? Because we also make an 802.11ax router. So if you want the fastest connection standards that exist, the product's going to give it to you. You've got that beautiful RTX 2080 base part in there that can support overclocking. You've got triple M.2. Up to 8.7 gigabytes of throughput, and that's achieved because normally for most laptops they're linking the actual M.2 to the DMI restrained PCH. We're actually putting 2 of those directly to the CPU, so you get much lower latency, better throughput, and then 1 is matrix to the PCH and all combined together. So it allows us to have the highest performance possible. And the M.2 is upgradable along with the 4 DIMMs that are in there. So you know, all the way around, this is truly just a beast in terms of its performance, its flexibility, and we really hope to kind of redefine the expectation of what a desktop replacement is. And the fact that, you know, definitely it's still not going to be for everybody in terms of its weight, but significantly lighter, but no compromise on performance. And being able to still kind of be able to move this around, we think it's a really interesting product.
Perfect. It does look very impressive.
Thank you.
Is this the system itself tearing apart?
Yeah, so here you can just see it's quite an impressive workload to be able to achieve one mothership. It's literally over 20 hours in terms of CNC machining. So you can literally see how much aluminum you see across all of this to be able to actually make one mothership.
That motherboard is massive.
Yeah, you know, it's just a huge amount of engineering to be able to achieve all this and combine it together, but it also allows the product to feel truly premium. When you feel the mothership, you don't feel any flexing, you don't feel any torsion. It just feels like this built tank that also is still fairly lightweight. And also allows us to maximize all the elements, right? Because there's a lot of things that you have to really balance in terms of having like a heat shield between the display and between so many high performance parts, right? So
How
we
hard
really
is it to getting into it to upgrade?
There are still some caveats in terms of that, you know,
problem.
but there is one open shell in terms of the back that will allow for one niche little element of serviceability.
Okay.
So we have tried to kind of be somewhat cognizant of that, but
Yeah.
at the same time still try to maintain ultimately having a super clean based design.
No, that's
right?
that's good. But that was one of my big perks about the Scar. One screw, and you can upgrade
and you can
everything.
upgrade anything for sure.
Yeah.
So I think lastly here on the mobile side, we've got our new flagship in terms of the Zephyrus. So the Zephyrus really kind of has set the benchmark for ultra thin and light gaming laptops, and now we have the Zephyrus 17. So this is Zephyrus S. It's the world's thinnest 17-inch notebook. Of course, it's going to come with the latest generation Intel part. You got that 2080 Max Q, and it's just all CNC metal. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So some of the key kind of improvements that we made here is the per key RGB. You have, of course, the offset-based design so that you keep that really cool, consistent palm rest area, which is critical. Unlike traditional laptops, this is going to get a lot hotter. And we can maximize, of course, all our cooling with our assisted design. So, of course, when you open this, you can actually see that it lifts in terms of allows for much more
design.
breathing. So that's a patented exclusive design, which is really the key hallmark for Zephyrus-based laptops. On top of that, we've, of course, extended RGB lighting to this zone as well for the RGI. In terms of the display, again, Pantone validated, 144 hertz, 3 millisecond response, G-Sync. Now, one thing that's really special about the Zephyrus, and it's again unique in the industry, is we have our proprietary GPU switch. This doesn't exist under any other vendor, and the key reason why is that with G-Sync, it's fantastic, but it causes the refresh rate to always be pegged high, and this will drain your battery life. So what we can do with our GPU switch is you can reboot and actually use the iGPU, and then from there actually have better battery life when you're using this like a laptop, because you're not always gaming. If the whole point is having a thin and light gaming laptop, it's because you want to be able to carry it around and use it like a traditional laptop for web browsing, for photos, for video, for whatever else you might be doing, right? And so that gives you a lot of flexibility. So we have that switch to be able to shift into different modes. To tie into that, we've also got something pretty cool. Questions there?
One question, I just looking at the external camera, that's one of the
Yeah,
things coming up.
and that's what we're going to get to.
Yeah.
So if you look at the thin bezel, you're going to notice that unlike any other laptop, you don't see a camera. And the reason why is the reality is that previously we had a camera down here, but it just wasn't good. It wasn't very good, dynamic range, it wasn't sharp, it was limited frame rate. So we said, you're going to make a premium product, let's make a fully premium product. So we created our own. This does not use a traditional sensor. It's not an aftermarket product. This is actually a cell phone sensor. The big benefit that we have here is we have significantly better dynamic range. So especially for like streamers where you have LED lighting, you're not going to get blown out. It can actually handle that entirety of the dynamic range. It's very sharp. Supports up to full 1080p 60 frames a second or 720p 60 frames a second. Very compact. You can see I can literally fold it down and it's that thin. It's got a full metal hinge so that if I want to be able to place it on here, I can go ahead and place it on there, right? And the cool thing is you can align it to where it's, you know, exactly with the bezel, so it's not overeating on the bezel.
Is that something you guys would sell as a standalone at any point?
We are actually getting feedback to find out if
God,
people are
that would be
interested in
something,
having
yeah.
an offering to this. It also does have very good actually based audio processing. We've looked carefully actually at the audio capture to be able to make sure that it's actually very sensitive about not driving too high of a dB range. And the reason why is because a lot of times when you're gaming, you're like, cover me, flank me, hey, what happened there, right? And you're going to clip, you're going to get hot, right? And so we've managed that to handle that really well. It's got a lot of ambient noise rejection, and I definitely will say I feel very comfortable putting this against entry-level USB external mics. So this really does serve to give you a good quality experience on the camera and on the microphone. Plus, we give you a little stand you can put on a tripod, an arm, whatever you want.
Very cool.
And for those of you who care about privacy, it's nice to know that if I just don't want a camera on there, I don't have to have a camera on there.
That's actually a big selling point to a lot of people these days.
Yes, exactly. Now, rounding out some of the things on the power side, which are pretty sweet, is that we put in USB PD. And you go like, well, why would you put USB PD? Well, the reality is, again, you got this massive 230 watt adapter on there. And the reality is that if you're not gaming and you just want to use it again for, you know, email, web surfing, you know, checking out the web, YouTube, Netflix, then you know what? You can use this 65 watt power adapter. Now you're not going to be able to game on this, but I can connect that to there. And then I've got my thin and light 17-inch notebook that I can power off of this. And you know, if I'm just going to a friend's house, coffee shop, whatever, I can do that. And then when I'm back home and I'm actually going to game, I can use my big old, 230 watt.
That also covers you if you're using docking stations with charger.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Another part too is, of course, if you have a USB PD power bank, not just a standard power bank, but a PD power bank, and maybe you've got like an hour road trip or something like that, you could just leave this connected and do a little bit of top off to your battery, right? So all the way around, I think if you really try to look at the core experience, from everything from the integrated volume knob, the PD power support, the amazing display, the thermal design solution, we've really tried to give you, I think, from a top to bottom, a really premium experience that not only is just an amazing gaming laptop, but a great thin and light high performance laptop.
Oh, it definitely does look amazing.
Yeah.
We'd love to see about those two AMD ones over there.
Yep. And so kind of going from the top end of the spectrum, we are definitely now going into the entry, but these are really, I think, kind of my sleepers. These are kind of just amazing notebooks because, if you definitely kind of just even get a feel for them and feel them out, you're going to feel that, a starting point that we want to be around is about $799. It's light, but it feels good. It doesn't have a huge amount of flex. You got full-size ports, which definitely in a lot of laptops you just don't see. But the awesome combination here is you've got the latest generation Ryzen 3500 series processor with Vega, but also a full discrete RX 560. You then add to that an IPS-like display, 120 hertz with FreeSync support, and that's like a perfect combination because you can totally jump into any game and you can have a smooth gaming experience because that GPU can comfortably handle, and you want to jump into Witcher 3, you want to jump into Overwatch, you want to jump into Civ, or you want to jump into Battlefield, you can comfortably handle all that and get a good response.
On this?
It's still being tuned, but I would say, depending on the workload, it's probably going to be around 3.5 to maybe about 6 hours, depending on the workload. So, gaming laptop, but at least kind of more kind of like traditional laptop battery life.
For the average consumer's gaming laptop.
Yep. Yeah, or definitely a nice, great initial starting point, and before you can get into something like a Scar,
exactly, something
or
great
Zephyrus.
for your kids or just getting into gaming, things like that.
Exactly.
Or if you want just a gaming system on the go and you already have a 17-inch you want to be.
Exactly. This is a really solid unit. Still nice quality keyboard. You still get the RGB lighting, nice and large trackpad, good audio design, and good thermal design, and even some thin bezels. So a really exciting unit. You'll be able to get in 15.6 inches, or you'll be able to jump even up into a 17-inch version.
Very, very nice. Like the red line around it, just to know if the whole back was red. Just wanted to see.
Yeah, just a little accent.
All right, one thing before we jump into the other stuff.
Yep.
When did all the pink accessories start coming
these
out?
are actually brand new for CES. So, we've had a pretty extensive product portfolio. A lot of people still kind of new to know that ROG is making peripherals, but we definitely have seen enough demand, and we actually have a really passionate base of users, not just female gamers, but actually I think a more modern set of users that are just interested in seeing different types of color palettes. And so we were this is now a new test project right here to kind of roll out here with these pink-based accessories.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with pink.
No, for sure.
No. We got pink gaming mics at our own studio, everything else. So
exactly. So here we've rolled it out across where we got the headsets, we've got our nice large sheath gaming service, we've got our Gladius mouth, and then we've got our Strix Flare keyboard. And I really like that nice contrast between the gray and kind of this matte, clean, soft pink. I think it looks really cool. And again, it's just about offering gamers a different choice for them.
What keycaps are you guys using with these?
For all ROG products, we exclusively use genuine cherry keys. So generally for most of the volume that's going to be put out there, it's usually reds and browns.
Perfect.
But we do occasionally, we do occasionally bring in some blues for the guys that love the really loud stuff.
Yeah. All right, that's absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you so much for showing us all the mobile accessories.
Not a problem.
We're going to let you guys go. If you want to keep watching, we're going to jump in shortly over to the accessories and the component section. All right, this is Souls One, aka John with Real Hard Reviews. Signing out. Have a good one.